Hello there.
Hi, Lydia. Hi.
Great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lydia Esinam, and it's been exciting to bring you another video here on Convos with Lydia. Today, I have the opportunity to interview my professor from school. And I mean, I'm going to tell you a lot about how we met and what he lectures, and he will share a lot for us. If you're new to the channel, hey, join this family. It's a family of genuine, relentless people. And we want to see everybody grow. We want to see everybody win. And so, hey, join this amazing family. On Convo with Lydia, we meet with extraordinary people, anyone at all who wants to share their story with us, and we want to just know how their story is, what their challenges are here in Canada. And of course, we will learn from their experiences. So stay tuned and enjoy this amazing interview. Hi, sir.
Hello. Hello, Lydia.
So you are my prof. I call him prof. So
it's fine. You can call me Vijay. That's perfectly
great.
fine.
Do you mind telling us about yourself? Like, tell us your name,
Yeah.
yourself, what you do.
My name is Vijay Padaguri. I'm an academic by profession. I teach management. I've been teaching for the last 12 odd years now.
Wow.
And I've taught in India, I've taught in the Middle East, and now I'm teaching in Canada. So
Wow.
that's like a brief intro to what I am. Yeah.
Okay, you're originally from India?
Yeah, I'm originally from India.
How is India like? I've always wondered.
India is like extremely diverse.
Is it what we see on TV?
The what you see on TV is obviously the bright side in most cases.
Oh,
So you have like a huge variety of people and many languages spoken.
okay.
It's a subcontinent after all. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I would say India is a very interesting place to be in even now. And there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of progress going on. And there are a lot of hopeful people again, like me, going
Yes.
out exploring themselves as well. Yeah.
Great, great. How did you come to Canada?
Well, I originally did not think of immigrating elsewhere, but
Okay.
I just wanted to explore cross cultural dimensions in some ways. I wanted to meet diverse people. I wanted to explore places, and I thought Canada was a good country to do that.
Okay.
And that's the reason I decided to be here. And I'd say I'm glad in many ways, yeah, it's been working well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting to know. I mean, another thing I like about Indian is the delicacy. I hear like they have great delicacies. I tried the naan
Yeah.
not too long ago,
Oh,
and it
that's
was
nice.
great with the sauce.
That's interesting to know. I mean, I'm so glad you
Yeah,
did.
I'm very adventurous with food. I like trying
That's
different
great.
cultures. Recently, too, I was at a Korean barbecue experience,
Oh,
and
that's
it
fabulous.
was
And I think
great.
it's brilliant. That's because that's how you explore diverse cultures and
Exactly.
get to know people and traditions and norms. And it's
Yeah.
nice that you did so. Yeah.
Great. So which year did you come into Canada, and how did you come? Did you come as a student? Did you come as work? Like, I want to know.
I came as a permanent resident. So
Oh,
the
nice.
stream I chose was known as the skilled workers program.
Okay.
So that's how I came in. And yeah, so I did not come the traditional route, which is the student to
Yeah.
a permanent
Obviously, in your
resident.
case, you're a
Yeah.
professor already.
So that was kind of helpful, the experience I had and things like that. But usually, I think most people would come into this route where they are a student first, and then
The immigrant.
they immigrate to Canada. So yeah, that's how I came in, and yeah,
Which year was that?
it's 2 years now. So
Oh.
2021, and yeah, so I came first time during that time, and I had to go back and forth because I was teaching in the Middle East. I was at the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Oman,
In
and I
Oman.
taught for a while there, nearly 3.5 years.
Okay.
So I had to get my teaching contract in place. I had to finish all my engagement, complete my contract period, then come back.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's been like 2 years back and
Wow.
forth. Yeah, since
How
I
has
was-
it been, like settling in? How was it 2 years ago? Like,
Yeah.
if you can take your mind back 2 years ago when you got in,
Yeah.
how was it challenging? I think that was
Yes.
just post-COVID, right?
Yes, just post-COVID. I would say it was challenging, and I believe it's challenging for almost everyone. In some ways, you're risking a lot of things coming here,
Exactly.
like many other immigrants, and I would say in my case it was more so. That's because I've been teaching for 10 years. I was doing well for myself. I'm doing well for myself. So in some ways, there are different odds I had to consider. I had to do a lot of cost benefit analysis to check
Exactly.
what's the best route in, and then I decided to come in here. There were challenges, of course, but I'd say I was mentally prepared for those challenges. I did quite some amount of research on what those challenges would be, and
Mhm.
yeah, things have been things have been interesting. Yeah,
Wow. Guys, if you're hearing a lot of sound or anything, I don't know, but we are in the middle of the city at a place called Laugh Park in downtown Toronto.
yeah,
And so just, bear with us in case you're hearing so much noise unexpected. But I hope the mics are doing a good job.
yeah.
Okay,
I hope so.
Vijay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I must also say that you inspire me a lot. I
Oh,
don't know if you've always wanted to be like a professor, but we met in the research class,
yeah,
and I was like, oh, who is this lecturer? He's so cool. And most of my lectures have been very cool, right? But you were like more like open-minded, very, you know, like personified.
yeah, yeah,
It's person like
yeah,
it's a personal
yeah,
relationship with every student
yeah,
and everything, and you try to like leverage on their
yeah,
strengths and all that. It's quite, impressive, I
yeah.
must say.
Thank you,
And
thank you.
I've always wanted to be like a professor someday and, do my PhD. And I think that as and when I meet people like you,
Okay.
it's like I'm closer to that dream.
Well, I mean, I should say at this point that I try to do my best as an educator. I somehow feel that our job is not just to deliver classes, but
Hmm.
to connect to every student, at a personal level, and
Yeah,
try and add value to their lives.
yeah,
And if we can do that beyond what's stipulated or beyond a job description, I
yeah,
think that's brilliant. And I always try to do that. I know, I mean, there are going to be difficult days, there are going to be challenging days sometimes,
yeah,
but it's so much about that empathy you have towards students, and I somehow
exactly.
feel that as educators we need that a lot,
Hmm.
just like doctors do. So I have that feeling. And yeah, I mean, you're a brilliant student. Not that I'm on this channel, but
Thank you.
yeah, you're a brilliant student, and I think you could as well be a great educator if you decide to do so
Hmm.
someday. And yeah, I mean, I do hope you explore that, and try to see options in there, because the world needs good teachers.
Yeah,
The world doesn't just need teachers, the world needs good teachers.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I hope
Thank
you
you.
make it someday. Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Yes.
So, did you always want to do like lecture in research, or which other faculties do you
So I
lecture in?
specialize in human resources and
Okay.
organizational behavior. That's my field of specialization.
Okay.
But since I did complete my doctoral program, a PhD,
Mm.
I also do take classes on research.
Okay.
So my primary field of specialization and interest, though, is human resources management and organizational behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So I also want to know, when you moved from India to Canada, was it like you always wanted to move out of India, or you really just wanted maybe a better life for yourself and your family?
Well, I moved out of India in early 2019.
Okay.
So there is no specific reason in terms of a better life as such, generally,
Mm-hmm.
because I was doing well, and I was working in a city called Bangalore, which is like the IT hub in India.
Okay.
And I was doing well for myself. But I always had that hunger to do something more, to achieve
Exactly.
something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I feel you.
So I was probably trying to explore options to challenge myself in terms
Mm-hmm.
of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I did not want that kind of a platonic growth.
Yeah.
I wanted something exponential.
Exactly.
And that's not just to do with monetary success or career success as such. There is more to do with a personal success in terms of exploring different sides of myself.
Exactly.
And I believe moving out of India in some ways helped me do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also so much about getting out of your comfort zone, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can see that
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel it when you say these
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah.
I also remember when I decided to move from Ghana. I mean, I was doing okay. I
Yeah.
was working in a financial technological firm,
That's right.
and I was customer success. I was leading a team,
Okay.
managing the whole team. I
Mm-hmm.
represent the team on the management level
That's great.
and
Yeah.
all that. So it was, if anybody knows me, they're like, but you are doing okay for yourself.
Yeah.
But you see, for me as an
I know.
individual, I wanted more.
I
It
get it.
meant it wasn't just about financial,
Yeah.
like maybe your salary or
Yes.
what you earn and
Yeah.
all that. But I felt like there is more to exploring for myself than just maybe my career or anything. So coming to Canada also really helped me. And sometimes it's very important that we go out of our comfort
Comfort
zone.
zones.
In our comfort zone, it's very okay. Our families
Yeah.
are there, our parents are
Yeah.
there. Like, you have everything at your disposal.
Yeah.
But when you move out and you learn from other continent, other culture, and you learn, like once you learn, they learn from you. There is a lot of development
Yes.
that engulfs you, the individual, within that whole
Yeah.
journey. I always say this, that wow, that's the cruise ship.
Yeah. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you move out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
it will amaze you how much, in terms of value, you can feel that tangibility for yourself. So I really, really, really agree with that.
Exactly. I mean, you have to know yourself really
Mhm.
well and allow for yourself to test different scenarios, and that's when you know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And that's important, I
Yeah,
believe. Yeah.
that's very
That's
true.
what leads to growth. That's what leads to progress. Yeah.
Great. And I also want to know, you have a family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
I do.
Do you mind telling us about them? You don't have to be specific, but
Yeah.
let us know
Yeah.
about your
So
family.
I immigrated with my family to Canada,
Okay.
and I have a toddler, and my wife was a human resources business partner while she was in
Okay.
India. She worked with a couple of ID firms there, and then we decided to move in here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a toddler as well, who's a 3-year-old,
Okay.
and yeah, it takes a lot of our time and attention in many
I
ways.
guess
Yeah,
that's what makes it worthwhile.
yeah.
And back home, like you have family, like your parents
Yeah,
are
my
back home.
parents are back home. I have a younger brother, so all of them are back home.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing.
India, you have a very unique culture.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to marry outside of your culture? Because I met a few Indians and I was really interested in I know the Punjabi guys.
Yeah.
I mean
Okay.
the Punjabi group. Is it
Okay.
a group or
Okay.
an ethnic?
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
a
Punjabi, they tie their hair
yeah,
and they don't marry out of their culture.
yeah.
And
That's right.
I really am interested in the Indian culture. If you can like share that with us, it would
Okay,
be
I'd be
exciting.
glad to do that. I mean, yes, you're right in some ways because typically, you would have heard of arranged marriages a
Yeah.
lot, where your parents kind of look for a spouse for you or
Yeah.
your or life partner.
Mhm.
I mean, from in many parts of the world, I think that's in some ways unacceptable even,
Yeah.
but that's a norm in India.
But in
And
Africa, it used to happen because my parents experienced that.
oh, experience that
Yeah.
probably, but things are
But not our
changing.
generation.
Yeah. I mean, even India back home now, I think things are changing, which
Yeah.
means people are exploring their lives themselves and
Mhm.
navigating their lives in the way they want to.
Yeah.
So this part is changing, but I think it's changing slowly.
Okay.
So you're right in the sense that most Indian families are close knit. There's a lot of
Mm,
collective decision making.
yeah.
Most important decisions of your lives aren't taken uh, without really consulting your parents and your relatives
Wow.
in certain cases. So you talk to your parents a lot, you ask them their opinions, and sometimes evaluate stuff. So
Mhm.
that's what used to happen. But like I said, now things are changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people marry outside their own ethnicity in most cases,
Okay.
outside their own cultures, and yeah, from different provinces, even. Yeah. So that's kind of gaining traction now.
Yeah.
People are more open in many ways now.
Great. Which other thing makes Indians unique?
I think Indians have a very strong work ethic. You would recognize that
Yes.
too. Indians have
Work
a very
ethic.
strong work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
They are very dedicated when it comes to work, and they're serious about that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what sets them apart. You see a lot of Indian CEOs now, and if it had to boil down to just one important thing,
Mm-hmm.
I believe it would be work ethic.
Mm.
Of course, there's a lot of talent and there's a lot of good learning systems in there and
Yeah.
all of that. But yeah, I personally feel that it's work ethic that trumps all these qualities.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, do you have any downsides to? I'll also share my observations. That's
Yeah.
really interesting to note.
Yeah.
Anything that you wish they didn't have or they didn't have to prove.
I'm not sure if I can pin down that one part, but
Yeah.
then I'd say, of course, so everybody has areas of improvement, and
Yeah.
you've got to like analyze your own strengths and
Mhm.
weaknesses in many ways. And I think
Okay.
Indians, in some ways, I would say, are not very experimentative.
Okay.
So they're very conservative in many cases.
Mhm.
So that is one of those biggest limitations, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise, I can't really think of something very specific at the moment. Yeah.
I've met a few Indians, and like you said, they have great work ethic.
Yeah.
Like most of the people that
Yeah, most
I've
of the
seen,
people. Yeah. So there are exceptions
yeah,
always.
there are exceptions. Not like everybody is,
exactly.
but
Yeah.
the ones I've seen have great work ethic.
Yeah.
And they are very, I don't know how to say this, it's like they're very goal oriented.
Yeah, focused in terms
Yeah,
of what they want
they're
to achieve.
very focused.
That's right.
And they have that collectivity. That's something
Yeah.
I admire about you guys.
Yeah.
Very solid connectivity.
Yeah.
They don't
That's
mind
right.
living in the house with 10 of their friends
Yeah.
just to save money, and
Yeah.
it's admirable.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
admirable. Vijay, do you have plans of, I don't know what the highest level of professional or career qualification will be, especially in your field as a professor? What is it for you? What are the other dreams that you would love to have for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, learning never stops. So I would say the highest educational qualification in some ways is a limiting term, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of informal learning that has to happen alongside. And I strongly feel that your formal learning has to be complemented with some amount of informal learning too.
Yeah.
So there is a postdoctoral something. There is a postdoctoral. I'm looking forward to pursue some course of that sort. But alongside, I think I'd be more interested to explore, let's say, other disciplines like psychology and sociology or so. So I'm looking forward to kind of get myself educated on many of these topics too. And of course, I mean, I would say one of those things that I haven't really explored as much is AI. And
AI.
that's going to be a game changer.
Yes.
Believe me, anyone who's listening
It is.
to this vlog, I would say just get some kind of a certification on AI related to, of course, your discipline or your field of operations, maybe. But AI is going to be a game changer. So I would say that is something that I'm exploring too. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So, guys, learn AI. Like, get to know it, get some certification, because the world is changing so fast. Yeah, so I have a lot of students who follow me, and people are inspired about my journey of moving to Canada, and they are inspired not just to move, but to live their dreams, follow their dreams, and want to achieve it. I don't know what you want to share with the student. I've been saying so much to my people who follow me, but what would you have to say to students out there who have immigrated to Canada and are going through it, or students out there generally in the world?
Yeah. So for the ones who are, I think I look at this in two ways. Ones who are considering immigration or who already immigrated. I think for you, one of those biggest things that you need to do is network. Especially if you're in Canada, there's no shortcut to network. I think you will have to network, get to know as many people as possible, strike up a conversation. That's important. And research. I think you've got to research beyond what you see online. Sometimes
very true.
We get drawn into these opinions and what people
and we think
say on social media generally. on an Insta post or so. But
Yeah.
then you've got to go beyond that post and then talk to people. So just go ahead and network with people, talk to people, ask them first. And I think you got to research on your own and get to know stuff. Don't go by branding material and advertising material that's put
Yes.
out in social media.
Yeah.
So research what courses mean what.
Mm-hmm.
Are you suited to take up that course? Do you have the persona, the knowledge and skills to take up that kind of a course?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that'll add value? Are there job prospects when you take up that kind of a course?
Exactly.
Do your own research.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong in getting help from a consultant, getting to know different educational institutions, all of that. But I would say do your own research and
Yeah.
ask questions.
Ask
That's
questions.
that's extremely important.
Yeah. Ask questions. So whenever I have consultation meeting with students around the world, but Africans, and I am engaging them,
Yeah.
what's your background? What did you study? Because I need to
Yes.
advise on the correctly relatable program to study.
Exactly. That's
And
that's
I
important.
realized that they are trying to tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And I keep pushing them.
Yeah.
Like, I have to push them. Like,
Yeah.
no, go further. Like, you can't just tell me this. Like, is this what you're going to tell the immigration officer if you want to come into Canada?
I completely get that. Some students try to do that, as in they try to project why they're best suited for a supply chain course because they think that a supply chain management course is fancy.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do that. And talk about what's been your educational background. Talk about what are your goals.
Yes, what you're
Talk about
passionate about.
what you're passionate
You
about.
can have the degree at the end of the day or the paper at the end of the day, but how does it translate in your ethics, your morals, your, self
I mean,
goal
you as a person
goals?
are a unique proposition. You can't really have that same equation. You can't say, hey, look, my cousin did this course and is successful, and that's why I'm going to be successful doing this course.
Yeah.
That's a wrong approach to have.
Exactly.
So ask questions, do your own research, read, connect to people, talk to current students from institutions, go on Insta, Facebook, find out alumni groups and try to see if you can talk to someone, pick them, and then try to see if you can connect with them and ask them, hey, look, I heard that this particular institution offers this course. How would you rate this course? And what are the positives of this course? What are the downsides of studying this course? Are there any challenges? Do this on your own. And that's the most important piece of advice that I'd give prospective students. For the current ones, obviously, it's to use public utility systems in Canada. You have like TPL, which is 100 libraries. And that's so amazing. I can't tell you how amazing it is, Lydia. Believe me, if you get to a reference library, like the one on Yonge Street, you realize what I'm saying. You have like thousands of books and online resources. And you can use all of that. So that is something the students don't do. I understand that many of them have jobs to do, but they do have off times. And if you can make time for a party, if you can make time for an outing, you can make time to get to a library too. Maybe once in a while, but do that. That's what I'd advise them mostly. And use other organizations like YMCA and Wood Green. Use services of these organizations to see what best they can offer to you. So that's my advice.
Wow, we've been having an interesting conversation with Vijay. I call him Vijay, my professor. And he's been sharing insights about being a professor, some Indian culture, some advice to students, and a lot of information. And it's been really insightful for me. I'm kind of wrapping up. I want to know, what is your favorite meal?
Well, I mean, it's kind of, I'm not really a very foodie kind of a person that way to choose one. But then, a roti and a curry or a biryani will be something that I would say is one of my favorite meals.
You have to invite me to one of these.
I will. Yeah.
Just a random question. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do?
Well, I just say I would
take a deep breath.
I mean, I, in some ways, I think one of my most important objectives in life is to serve students. So I would invest at least like 70% of that money into helping students in some way possible.
Wow.
That's what I would do, and that's what is the most fulfilling sort of a thing. Why am I an educator today is because I love doing that. So that's what I would do even if I had a lot of money. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, even if you didn't say that, I would be surprised because I see a lot of passion
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
work, in your career life, your profession, and how you really want to impact students in any aspect that you serve in. And it's amazing. And thanks for always, giving us that encouragement and anything. Like,
Thank you
it's
so much,
amazing.
Lydia. Thank you so much. Thanks
It's
for
been
that
so nice
recognition.
having
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining me on the channel today.
I'm glad I did this, and I hope this helps a lot of students who are in there. And I
Yeah.
wish you all the best too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining the episode today on Convos with Lydia. I've been here with Vijay. What's the surname?
Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult
I
part.
really
So
want to mention
yeah,
the
it's
surname.
Padaguri. Yeah.
Padaguri.
Yeah.
Vijay Padaguri. I
Yeah.
did well.
Yeah. Great. So
So
don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment.
thank you. So it's been amazing. Don't forget to subscribe, like Vijay said, like this video, and I hope that you learned something from it. Whatever you picked from the video or the interview, leave it in the comment section and let me know that you enjoyed it. Till I see you in the next one. My name is Lydia and I was joined with Vijay today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keep being awesome. Bye bye.